What's up, y'all? I'm Kelly Clarkson.
Hey, it's Dave McRae.
Hey, I'm Josh from the band Need to Breathe.
I'm Olivia Lunny.
We are so excited to welcome to the Kelly Alexander Show, Akon. Hi.
What up, Kels?
Hey, I'm Judy Gold.
And I'm hanging out with the Kelly Alexander Show.
This is Jordan, and I'm hanging out on the Kelly Alexander Show.
I'm Rob, and I'm hanging out on the Kelly Alexander Show.
I'm hanging out with the Kelly Alexander Show right now.
Jealous?
Very excited to welcome to the Kelly Alexander Show Juno-nominated Canadian pop band Valley. They've picked up over 1 billion global streams. They have a new album out called Water the Flowers, Pray for a Garden. They're currently on tour, and we're super excited to have them on the show. Rob, Kara, Alex, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Hello, thanks for having us.
Question number one has to be, what is the most challenging part and the best part about being in a band?
That's a tough question.
It's extreme reward and extreme adversity at times.
It's the beauty is we're always together, and the not so beautiful part is we're always together.
Yeah.
You love like family and fight like family, which is kind of what makes it great.
We're
But-
siblings at this point.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the worst. I don't know. There's no.
It's
all in
something
context.
you sacrifice a lot of, like, it's like any like small business. You know, when you're starting out, like, you're sacrificing a lot. You're always working. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's the same across any industry. When you're starting out, it's that first 10 years, it's really hard, but also really great. And you just have to be passionate about it. And if you lose the passion, like, then it's, you know, it's all lost. So
Yeah.
You miss a lot of
it's finding
birthdays and
motivation.
weddings.
Oh, yeah,
Which is
I understand
tough.
that.
Birthdays, weddings, funerals, yeah. But, you know, we wouldn't trade it for
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys would come with different musical inspirations, like however you grew up. And so was that challenging to meld them together? Or like, is it just been interesting to see like, oh, somebody likes jazz and somebody likes rock, and we're all going to mix this into our sound?
That's that's kind of what made it work at the beginning, or like what kind of sparked everything. I feel like, yeah, we all brought, when we came together and got like double booked, it was, you know, I came from like a pretty like early 2000s like alternative background. Like I was, at the time when we were starting the band, it was like a lot of Death Cab and early Coldplay and a lot of like that kind of thing. And then Alex brought a lot of like pop rock and like stuff that was like, oh, like this is so melodically like engaging, and like, you know, introduced us to just a whole new world. And Kara and Mickey, you know, had such a fundamental understanding of like the classic pop artists, like, you know, like Fleetwood Mac, and a lot of like new influence coming in on the songwriting side of like what it means to make like a really concise, beautiful song. And then Kara studied jazz too, so it's like bringing jazz drum beats over like a more like 4-chord pop song. It's like there was just a lot of that going on, which was sweet. So it was a nice exchange of like goods, which I think is the beauty of it, I think. Yeah.
Was it challenging for you guys to, because like the climate that we're in, and it's been this way for several years now, is that everything is like a singles market, and a lot of artists will not take that step to do an album at this point. They do a lot of EPs or whatever. But how was that decision for you to go and keep making albums?
We're an album band, you know, like we've realized like it's people want a world to dive into, and you know, like when the songs stand alone, they kind of, it's like they all support each other in the narrative, and it's hard to have, we've done the singles thing, and it just doesn't really feel right. It feels like, here's one song, go live with it, and it's like, what's the story? Like obviously the lyrics, but like what's underneath the surface? And I think bands are in a unique position where you have the ability to have that depth because there's multiple people in the band. And so we kind of just have been leaning on that, where it's like you build a kind of like a world and an era, and that's where we're most fulfilled. And surprise, surprise, that's where the fans, it translates best for the fans. So just again, authenticity.
Are there Canadian artists or bands that you would like to work with in the pop space, like to do a collab together?
Yeah, I mean, we export so much music. It's so funny being like touring the world and people like being surprised that like so many artists are from Canada that they didn't know about. But yeah, I mean, it would be amazing. I mean, we love our Girls on the Beaches. We love like Sean is obviously incredible. We love Daniel Caesar, Charlotte Day Wilson. Yeah, Charlotte Cardin.
Yep.
Yeah.
would be amazing. I think she's absolutely just so good. Incredible voice. Yeah, the list goes on and on. There's just so many amazing artists. And yeah, I mean, we've always like, collaboration's always tough though, because they need to happen naturally. You can kind of tell when like two artists like kind of got thrown in a room, they're like, make something, versus like you can tell the synergy was there and they're actually friends and they like made something that, you know, they put out in the world together. But yeah, I mean, invitation's open always. It'd be sweet.
When it comes to the title of the album, Water the Flowers, Pray for a Garden, like how do you guys come upon that title? And did you then kind of sequence everything around that? Because it's very important, I think, because I'm an album girl too. Like I love albums. And so I think it's important when there's some kind of cohesion and story. So how is that for you guys?
Yeah, the song was written, it was the oldest title like we had. It was a song that we
4 years old
wrote.
now.
It was funny. We had like a song kind of take off on TikTok in like 2020 when that whole just like movement was happening of everyone was just throwing paint at the wall. And literally the day after we wrote that song, we wrote Water the Flowers, Pray for a Garden. And we didn't like touch it for years. And then we kind of uncovered it in like Dropbox one day. We're like, oh, this song exists. And then, yeah, we knew right away that's the title of the record. So we did work. It was kind of our North Star. We knew that title had like depth to it and had substance, and it had, you know, it felt like a proverb that didn't exist yet. I remember like Googling it and being like, no one has like I thought it existed as a saying already, but it kind of didn't. So we were like, this is perfect. And then from there, yeah, it did become kind of the thesis of the whole record. So worked backwards from it. But yeah, the meaning of it, I mean, Kara always explains the meaning really well, probably better than I could ever. But if you want to touch on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
important.
just like about leaving things up to the universe, kind of like if you plant your seeds, then you know it's both liberating and scary to just leave it up to the universe, but like it is kind of like a sentiment of there's no point in worrying either. Like if you're doing your best, if you're planting the seeds, then you can step back. It's okay to step back and watch things grow and, you know, all that stuff, smelling the roses, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah.
What's your relationship with your fans, especially, you know, in this day and age, and it's been obviously this way for several years now as well with social media. Would you guys be where you are without social media?
Probably not.
Probably not. I mean,
sorry, I don't think that it would be fair to say that social media has helped us so much.
Immensely, for sure.
Like it took us to Asia.
yeah.
It took us from a Canadian Toronto band to an American band to a band that does well in Asia.
Yeah, I think we'd still be a band, but I don't know if we would be.
Yeah.
No, we would still be a band,
but we wouldn't have a reach, like a global reach.
The access that it gives you is incredible. And now I feel like everyone's in an age of like the access got so oversaturated, and now everyone's reeling it in, being like, okay, how do we make this real and human? And like, how can we still use these platforms in a way that the humanity's like in it? And I think that's the whole game now, is like, okay, we went so extreme. Now it's like, okay, how do we actually form these connections and not let them kind of turn into kind of an over dramatized like structure and system? And I think, you know, that's, you know, keeping things small. It's like we have a Discord channel that's only a couple, you know, 1,000 people. That's like, you know, our diehard fans, and like, you know, it's all about building community on these platforms that feel like real. But it's so important. It's just always a game and challenge of like, how do we make this human always? Because we're kind of attached to these black mirrors all the time. So, yeah.
Do you feel a responsibility to your fans in a way? Because I'm sure you guys get messages all the time about this inspires me, or I take away this from that. And like, I'm assuming like, is it hard to always quote unquote be on?
Yeah, no. I mean, on used to be on for us. I feel like on is not on for us anymore.
Now.
I feel like we were sold an idea at one point of like what it means to be on, but now on is just like being ourselves. And whether you catch us on like a weird day or a good day or a stressful day, like it's just, you know, we live and breathe what we do. So it's not ever stressful, but we do take our fan base very seriously. Like because we wouldn't be here without them. They're like truly the sole reason we're here. Like if there's no one on the receiving end of the music, once you've made it and put it out in the world, then it's like, you know, it's definitely a self-fulfilling prophecy of like, yes, I love to create for myself, but like the only reason we're here today is because there's like a couple hundred people that want to hear what we've made. So it's always that fine balance. I always talk about this where it's like when you go in to make the music, you have to really like kick everybody out the room. Chase always told us like you kind of have to kick the fans out when you're making the music because you have to, they just want your like most authentic self, and sometimes you can't get that if you're trying to make it for an audience. But then as soon as you leave the studio, it's like you have to invite them back in because they're the only reason the music's gonna, you know, reach wherever in the world. So it's always a fine balance, but it's never on or off anymore. I feel like it's just on. It just is. It's just, it is what we do. Yeah.
What advice would you want to give to an up and coming Canadian band that maybe you wish you had have known like 5-6 years ago?
Oh man, that's such a big question now, especially so much has changed. I feel like when we signed a deal and like we were starting, it was just such a different climate. It was like pre-Spotify pretty much. Like it was, but I think the biggest thing is try not to juggle too much at the beginning. Like focus on the things that will actually grow. Invest in things that that really make a difference. I think that is just sticking true to what like your art and what you do, and do not let anyone tell you what that should be. Like it has to be 100% what you believe in, or it's not going to take off. Like it's not going to have any wings. And secondly, just surround yourself with people that like understand the vision. I think now we're really seeing, you know, it's not a massive label. It's not 100 people that make an artist fly. It could be 2 people that actually understand the vision and the structure and like what you're trying to say. And I think, yeah, just invest in yourself, your songwriting, getting the like genuine what you feel out there, and just surround yourself with people that understand you, that can lift you up, that give you the nutrients to have you know, those wings to get to the next step. And yeah, I don't know, that's such an open-ended question, but just yeah, those would be the 2 most important things.
Just a couple of questions before we go. I like to call this fast facts so that people get to know you a little bit better. So I'll start with Kara on this one. What is your favorite board game of all time?
Oh, I hate board games.
Do you really?
That's so funny. Yeah, she's
Kara's
probably the worst one.
Kara's not a gamer.
Yeah.
You're the first artist that's ever said that to me. That's
I know,
amazing.
it's a little crazy.
I am one of those people that cannot understand games.
Really?
And like when people are explaining the rules to me, I just like, I have like mental breakdowns. I'm like this.
I think you could do it if you tried.
She's like, no.
If somebody was like, I will pay you
doing
$1,000
that.
for you to sit down and play
learning how to play a board game for me is like doing
It's homework.
taxes.
It's
It
like
is a
homework.
chore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's honestly.
That's all good.
I don't know
I got that.
what-
I appreciate
I'll
that
answer
though.
for you.
Go, Alex.
I guess the 2 of us probably. Catan is a more recent.
Tan is amazing.
See,
Okay.
fun one.
that gives me
Tan's the
like
best. I
know, you
visceral
don't like
anxiety. Visceral.
I'm a big Tan fan.
I just love a good Monopoly.
Okay.
Some trouble.
Classic.
That's fair. Karen, I'm going to start with you again then on this. What is always in your fridge?
Oh, this is a much better question for me. Okay. Well, always in my fridge, probably some almond butter
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
So like to make my almond butter smoothie.
Yeah.
And fridge. Probably some oat milk. That's so boring. I sound like such a boring person.
You'd have like a slab of tofu for sure.
I'd have a piece of tofu.
Yeah, that's fair. Alex, what's in your fridge always?
Oh. Excuse me. My fridge. You know, it's funny because I'm not home all that often, but
You always have an overnight oats.
yeah,
going.
I
You're
do
a big
have.
overnight.
I have a lot of
chia seed pudding.
I make like a I make like a chia seed thing that I throw like hemp hearts in and chia seeds and like frozen blueberries and kefir and a little bit of like honey or whatever and that's my like breakfast thing that I'll make, and you'll probably find like 3 or 4 of those in like mason jars in my fridge, like pre-made. So yeah, one of those probably.
That's good.
A lot more in the freezer.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good move too. Keep it all frozen.
Yeah.
Rob, what's always in your fridge?
What's always in my fridge? I drink a lot of Poppy. I love Poppy.
Okay.
Lately, halloumi. I'm obsessed
your
with halloumi. I don't know why, but I put it on everything. I'll like when I'm home, I'll make like halloumi and pears. Like I'll do sweet and savory. I put halloumi on my toast in the morning and my eggs. I'm just obsessed with halloumi. Shout out halloumi.
That's perfect. And final question: what girl group or boy band would you like to be on a group text with?
I have such a niche one, but I'll let Kara go first.
That's good.
Watch, she's like, I don't like girl boys or boy bands. Like I don't.
No, I do. I love.
You do?
I love.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
So
I,
this is
that's
why
why it's hard
it's
to
hard?
choose.
Can you name your top three? Like what top three girl groups or boy bands would you love to be in a text
Okay, girl group. Well, okay.
I have the answer for all of us.
Tell me, what is it?
Last night we had a pre-show jam to Black Eyed Peas song.
Oh yeah.
And I think
Hey,
Black Eyed Peas
that
would be
hits
the
both
most
girl and boy.
incredible group chat
Is that your
text
answer?
ever. I think that's the answer for all of us because
That's-
we're in such a Black Eyed Peas. But I'll let you guys answer.
No,
But-
I think I'd have to go with that.
Okay, that's
Black Eyed
good.
Peas. Yeah.
It'd be
Alex, you said niche. So
My
who's
niche
yours?
answer. They're gonna make fun of
You
me.
gonna say Hanson or something?
No, there's this band from the UK
Westlife?
Oh,
No.
McBus.
called McFly.
Oh yes. Okay.
That's a
McFly.
good
I
one.
love McFly.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
No, they're such a cool band.
That is niche.
That
yeah, it
is
is.
niche.
That is
I,
niche.
I've never met them, but I would like to meet them, and I want
You
them
have
to
met
come
them.
to Canada.
Oh yeah, we did
we
meet
met-
one of them.
No, you're talking
Oh,
about
sorry, yeah, we
you're
did.
talking about
Sorry,
Busted.
sorry,
We met
yeah.
somebody from
And so, Rob,
That's epic.
I stole-
I forgot about them.
I literally stole yours.
No, Black Eyed Peas would be great, or Joe Bros. Let's
Okay.
go classic.
Oh, that's cool.
I feel like
Okay.
the Bros would be fun.
Okay.
To just hang in the text thread with.
and final question. I don't know who wants to answer this, but what do you want your fans and new fans to know about Valley? Because you're going to have a lot of people listening to this that might not know of you.
Oh man, what? Just we're really grateful that we can still do this. And if you're a new fan or an old fan, if you found us in like 2016 on Spotify or wherever you listen to music, or if you just found us now through this interview that you're listening to, we love you and we want you to come to a show because our shows are really fun and we really give it all every night and we just love to have you. And yeah, we love you. Thank you.
Juno-nominated Canadian pop band Valley. Do not forget to check out their website. This is valley.com to grab all of their social media handles.
Hey, it's Kelly Alexander, and thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kelly Alexander Show, so you are the first in line for all the cool content coming your way.